What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Around the Monitor, the only gaming news talk show where the point you make in the discussion is a point towards winning. I'm your host, Zach, and the way this show works, we talk through the week's news in gaming. Every time somebody makes an interesting point or a funny point, I give them an actual point, and then whoever has the most points wins for that week. If you're watching the show live, which you can do on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on twitch.tv/SaveDataTeam, you can actually use the Twitch points to vote along and influence the scores. But joining me once again, we've got the world's number one Psychonauts 2 fan, David.
You almost called me world's number 2 Psychonauts fan, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I was going to say world number 2 Psychonauts 1 fan. We got Halucha now, you know? We've got the Ace Attorney, Pridge.
Man, I really love the original Dark Souls game. Haha, April Fools, got him.
And last but not least, the hockey sticks and sickle herself, Elise.
Man, I really hate the original Dark Souls game.
You know, I thought you were going to go for a capitalism joke there, but I'll take that too. That's pretty good. But if this is your first time watching, we always start the show with a trivia question to determine the order. And y'all, I didn't grab one. Oh, wait, I know exactly what I'm going to do. This is the first time in a while we've started the show. The big headline of non-gaming news this week was the Ever Given, the giant ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal. My question to you all, how many feet long is the Ever Given?
Good. This is our trivia question.
Hey, yeah, it's slow news week.
You're a piece of shit, Zach.
Joe says, April Fool's, Zach has a great question. Hey, fuck you, Joe.
You fucking suck.
Listen, it was in the news all week.
Not how long. I just watched the memes, man.
Yeah, I know, exactly. We all just watch the memes.
721.
721.
I feel like these things are like fucking humongous, right? How long is a container?
I mean, I don't know. I just know how long the boat was.
I don't know, 1,200 feet?
I'm going to go with 500 feet.
500 feet. The correct answer, 1,312 feet.
Okay, I was the closest already.
Yeah, almost got that one dead on. That does mean our order will be David, followed by Elise, followed by Pridge. Let's talk about the topics for this week. We've got the newest game of the week, Outriders, is going to punish hackers by putting a watermark on their gameplay, which then, if they upload that footage anywhere, they will instantly have it taken down. Pour one out for the legend himself, folks. Yes, Mario, unfortunately, was executed by Nintendo yesterday. Truly a legend. Like if you cry every time. 2K has signed an exclusive contract with Tiger Woods, and now EA is making its own rival golf game. Yes, folks, truly, it's a slow news week. We're talking about golf sports games. San Diego Comic-Con is apparently still happening. Its dates have now been pushed to Thanksgiving. You know, the holiday we didn't get to celebrate last year. Let's go to Comic-Con instead of celebrating it this year. SANIC has partnered with Gfuel to make SANIC's chili dog flavored energy drink. Yes, this somehow isn't an April Fool's joke. May God have mercy on our souls. 505 Games has bought the Ghost Runner IP from the developer All In Games. CDPR has announced that it's moving to parallel development, as well as acquiring, a new studio. And after the newest patch, CDPR says Cyberpunk should be returning to the PlayStation Store soon. And last but not least, it was a news article last week. We didn't talk about it, but we got to hear a little bit more about the Pikmin mobile game, and I believe it has actually started testing in some markets. David, what would you like to talk about for the first topic of the show?
You know, I gotta go with 2020's year of Sonic, which I know it's not 2020 anymore, but
Might as
2020
well
was
be.
the year of Sonic, which means in 2021 they announced partnership with Gfuel, because you know what gamers need to go fast? Gfuel. Now, there's 2 drinks that they've announced. Sonic's Peach Rings. That one makes sense. That's cool. Golden Rings, peach flavored drink. Go fast.
Why is it
Awesome.
peaches? Does Sonic have a thing for
Peach
peaches?
Rings, the candy.
It's the candy. I thought I was peach ring flavored G Fuel. I was like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I mean, it's peach ring, but it's probably flavored like peach ring candy, but rings for Sonic. That's really as far as they thought. However, they thought too much for the next one.
They thought too much.
They thought too much. They went too deep into Sonic. The second G Fuel drink is SANIC's Chili Dog flavored energy drink. I shit you not. They are claiming this is real. It's not just an April Fool's joke. There's a wait list to buy it, and they're only gonna let people on the wait list for like a day.
Good lord.
And if you buy the chili dog flavored one, you get the peach ring one with it, along with a SANIC themed G Fuel bottle. Dear God, why? How far have we strayed?
Video games have come too far since Pac-Man.
Yes, they have. I think, Kotaku, while they can't spot a joke, they can make a good joke every once in a while. They summed this up perfectly in a different article about not this thing. April Fool's Day is terrible. Things you wish were real are fake, and things you wish were fake are real. Like this.
Yeah.
Like SANIC's chili dog flavored energy drink. Now, what I hope they do, but what I don't think they'll do, is the little bottle of SANIC. Sorry, not Sonic. SANIC. They're different people.
Just to be clear to the folks watching this.
Yeah, that's not a joke. It's actually called SANIC.
Yeah, it's SANIC, and it is the shitty drawing of SANIC, not Sonic.
Yeah, 100% is. What I want them to do is actually sell this. I want them to sell it, but it's just like a can of Hormel's chili with like the SANIC logo on it. No. They just rewrap it and just like G Fuel SANIC's chili dog flavor. Please don't add water to this. It will be even worse.
Don't add water. God.
I hope they just send all these people a can of fucking chili and then an actual bottle of G Fuel for the peach ring one. I really hope that's what it is. It's probably not. It's probably going to be actually chili dog flavored, which, why? Don't buy this, people.
Yeah, I mean,
just don't encourage this behavior.
Listen, we all know this is going to sell out about as fast as the Lil Nas Satan shoes. So like,
oh yeah, it's going to be sold out.
It's going to be sold out. It's going to be scalped online for more money. Dan says Mario's only been dead for a day, and Sonic is already in a relationship with Peach. That's a good joke. That's a good joke, Dan. I'll give you that one.
Hey, you know what? When Mario's dead, Sonic's got to move in fast to try and take up all those users. And I guess chili dog flavored G Fuel is how he's doing it.
Pupson says, does this exist in the same universe as Hideo Kojima's masterpiece, Sonic Suggests?
It does.
We are truly in the darkest
this
timeline.
Universe.
Elise, what would you like to talk about for the second topic of the show?
Let's talk about Mario being dead. Speaking of, why did Nintendo decide to publicly execute their most popular character?
Who knows?
What's the number? It's like Mario has been in 300 games or some shit. And
yeah,
Nintendo's like, you know what? You know, it's a good thing we should do. We should publicly execute him. Bring out the guillotines. He's got it too good.
Mm-hmm.
No, what actually happened is, y'all remember the Mario 3D Mega Mix.
Mhm.
That's what I'm
Mega
gonna call
Mix.
it. Mario 3D Mega Mix.
Mhm.
Was for. I was gonna say for some reason. It's a very clear reason.
Mhm.
For a very clear reason, they said that's gonna be on sale for 6 months, and then we're done. And you're never gonna be able to buy it first party again. And the reason that is because it drives impulse purchases.
Mhm.
It I think it's a literal quote from someone at Nintendo that's basically new game releases tend to linger on wish lists. You see it, you say, I want that, but I don't want to buy it right now. You put it on your wish list and then you forget about it.
Or you
And
wait until it
then,
goes on sale, which unfortunately,
which for a Nintendo game is
right,
never.
right, that's true too.
And when it does go on sale, maybe you've moved past your interest. Maybe you don't care anymore. Maybe you see something else that's on sale that you'd rather get. And then what? So they put it on sale for 6 months so that people would see it. They'd say, I guess I should get that now. Guess I
Mhm.
can't just wishlist that forever. And it worked out for them as far as I can tell. Seems like it sold really fucking well.
Yes, it did.
And well, you know that game sales are like 90% of the money that they make on it is in the first week.
Mhm.
It's like a shitty business practice to, especially when game preservation is already in such a dire state.
Mhm.
And like these are games that you've been able to emulate for a long time. It's not like these 3 games, which it really shouldn't have been only 3, but these 3 games are not like scarce in the terms of video game accessibility.
Right.
But the principle of it that you can just sell your game for 6 months and then never again is rough
It
for the future of gaming.
it's super frustrating too because as you basically said, it looks like this worked out well for them because I believe they sold. I want to say it's actually close to like 10 million copies of this, which is just very lazily made, like repackaged old games. And this last week, the sales of it jumped up again because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, it's about to run out." So
As of December, it had sold 8.32 million copies.
damn, okay, there we go. So it probably did break past the 10 million point.
And like these are good ass 2 good games. These are 2 very good games. One of my favorite.
There it goes. I was like, Elise has to get a dunk in on Mario Sunshine. I know it.
Mario Sunshine fucking sucks, dude.
Okay, I was like at least about to pull out a really wild take and be like, oh no, it's 64 is the one I meant.
Mario Sunshine fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah,
These are good games.
Yeah.
But it's a shitty remaster or shitty like port that is like the bare minimum that they could do.
Agreed.
And you can just easily emulate these games at a better quality than you're getting here.
That's also true. You can also emulate them with mods.
Yeah.
You can give Mario a gun. Mario
And I
64.
stand by my stance. I stand by my stance that Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all time. That game works better with a gamepad. With like a normal controller.
It's almost like the Wii is a bad console with a bad control scheme. I'm going to use that as a jump off point.
Yeah.
Bridge, what would you like to talk about for your first topic of the show?
How is that a jump off point?
I mean, it's a non segue, non sequitur.
Elise was done, so now that's the jump off point.
All right, fair enough.
And I got she got to dunk on Mario Sunshine. I got to dunk on the Wii. Everything is balanced as it should be.
I don't think that's how it works, but all right. let's talk about the first details of the Pikmin mobile game.
Hey, yeah. Everyone's favorite Nintendo franchise, Pikmin,
So, everyone's favorite Nintendo franchise, Pikmin.
which is
Um,
collectively sold less than just this one re-release of 3 Mario games.
Yeah, I think on a different podcast I heard Pikmin was the 23rd best-selling Nintendo franchise,
Yeah,
which is
23rd.
abysmal.
23rd.
All right, so as we all know, we are getting a mobile game from Niantic, the people who did Pokemon Go.
Mhm.
We are getting a Pikmin one. And it apparently has started basically some I think this article says, it's being currently tested by invited users in Singapore. So we are officially getting our first details on the game.
Mhm.
And from the looks of it, it basically comes down to you get a bunch of Pikmin seedlings. They absorb your step energy, so it's
Oh.
like a fancy Fitbit, and you need to walk around in order to get your Pikmin to sprout, and then you can send them on adventures, and they do stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then you can like collect more stuff. I'm not 100% certain what the appeal to this is supposed to be.
But Pridge, Pikmin.
You got me there. I didn't consider that. So yeah, I mean, Pokemon Go was a very simple but well executed concept in that you went around and caught Pokemon. This seems to also be a very simple concept, but I don't think this one is, well, it's very obvious that Pikmin does not have the same power as
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Nope.
But I also feel like this just isn't like as interesting.
Mhm.
I guess I'm trying to figure out from reading this. I guess these are only limited details, but I'm trying to figure out what like the replay value is. Apparently you can I guess you can collect like postcards and apparel Pikmin, which have to do with the specific places you send them or like the real life location you are. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed to encourage you to keep doing this. I don't know. It seems interesting, but I just feel like this is not going to catch on at all, both based on what the info on the gameplay loop is and just the sort of not great marketability of the Pikmin games, which are good games, mind you. I'm not here to shit on the Pikmin franchise because they're very good games. They're just not super marketable, which is why, despite typically getting good reviews, they don't sell super well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The only joke I want to make here is that there are some health insurance companies that force you that you can get like a rebate if you get a certain amount of steps on like your Fitbit or your Apple Watch.
Uh-huh.
And I just want a health insurance company to latch onto this and be like, sorry, your insurance rates are going to go up. You did not hatch enough Pikmin this month. Unfortunately, we were gonna give you some money back and lower your monthly payments, but just I'm not seeing enough Pikmin here. Not enough Pikmin. You're clearly not healthy enough. Too bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, Dan makes a great point. Just look at the variety of Pikmin you can collect. They've got red, blue, green. Wait, no, there's not green. Yellow.
Purple, white, rock, winged, and then Pikmin.
Wait, sorry. I didn't play the later Pikmin games. What is a rock Pikmin?
It's a rock with a leaf on its head.
Yeah.
Is it still like shaped like a Pikmin, or is it literally just like pet rock with the leaf thing?
No, it's more like pet rock with a leaf on its head.
Yeah, it's very much like this does not look like Pikmin, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've played all the Pikmin games. I like them. I also don't think this is gonna pay off in the way that they want it to, but who knows? Maybe they didn't invest much money into making this game. Moving forward, though, David, what would you like to talk about for your second topic of the show?
I would like to talk about CDPR saying that Cyberpunk should be returning to the PlayStation Store soon.
Listen, they said it, so it must be true, right?
No, it must be true. 100% must be true. If you are still paying attention to all the Cyberpunk drama bullshit, wouldn't be shocked if you're not at this point. This past week, Cyberpunk got like a giant patch, like we're talking like 5-minute Star Wars scrolling text size patch.
Yes.
It had a lot of bug fixes, which is great. Happy they're finally doing it, doing what they said they were going to do. That's fantastic. Now, during an investor call, which I think is where the other Cyberpunk news came from too, that they were acquiring a studio, one of the senior vice presidents of business development, I'm going to butcher his name right now, Mikhail Nowakowski. I'm sure that is horrible.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, it's impossible to pronounce any of the
Polish
names
names
of the
when
up and
you
ups.
don't know any
Yeah.
Polish, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
He basically has said that each and every one of these patches brings us closer to going back to the PSN store. However, the final decision, you have to understand, belongs to Sony. We believe that we're closer than further, but of course, the final call is theirs. Let's wait and see. Let me translate this business speak to you. This means, hey, we really pissed Sony off, like really badly when we released this game, to the point where they took our game off their store. Sony might not put it back on until it's like beyond our expectations for where it should be on. So prepare yourselves, investors. We may not even get on the PSN store because Sony is so royally pissed at us.
Yeah.
That's what this means. They could have the game working beautifully, and if Sony is like a jilted enough lover of CDPR and Cyberpunk, they might still not list it at that point. Well, we'll see. And I just think it's very funny watching business people squirm on these calls and come up with so much business speak to not say those words aloud. It's really entertaining to me. In better news, people who have PS4s and Xbox Ones.
Yeah,
Is
that was
right?
the last generation of Xbox. Yeah.
Ones, yeah. Guess what? You may finally be able to play Cyberpunk at like, and not just get stuck by bugs for the duration of the game. You may actually be able to finish the game now. So that's cool. Happy for it. I honestly hope that the game gets back to a place where they can put it on the store, at which point maybe then I'll play it, even though I'm not going to play it on PS4. It's just kind of the I don't know, the morality. It hurts. I can't play that like
No, yeah.
outright lie. So that's cool. I guess that's really it. I don't have any super jokes about this other than poor business guy trying to do business things.
Yeah, it just you know what? We've already talked enough about this whole thing. I don't even want to go into it anymore. It's done and dusted. I do want to respond. Pup Sins in the chat says the question is whether Cyberpunk will be able to pull off a No Man's Sky. I do not.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't think. Like here's the thing: they can release bug patches and fix so your car doesn't just explode into space. That wasn't the problem that No Man's Sky had when it launched. It just didn't do all the things that they promised. It was still a competent game. Like it was still like it wasn't a bug-ridden mess. It just wasn't
No
what they
Man's
promised.
Sky had like an evolution of a Todd Howard problem where they went like the creator went out and promised tons of things that were in development, but that obviously didn't make it in the game because game development's hard and takes forever, and they overestimated how much they could do. CDPR has been working on this game for like 7 years and has hundreds, if not thousands, of employees working on it. Like the state that it released in was unacceptable and unplayable. No Man's Sky, perfectly playable. It was a fine game at launch. It just wasn't what they said it was. Whereas Cyberpunk is both not what they said it was and fundamentally broken on the consoles it was announced for.
True. Pupston says CDPR basically just accidentally found out that they're not Bethesda.
I think like they the game is fundamentally broken and buggy and has all sorts of like game-breaking problems. Like the game fucking deletes your save or corrupts your save if it gets above like 5 megabytes or something, or 50 megabytes.
Yeah, that was
Like, and those are big problems, but it also above those is like missing fundamental systems and like has shitty writing.
Yeah,
and
like
these are
they build it as like a fully functioning open world that you can kind of drop into and explore, and it's like, no, it still does the thing that we were doing on PlayStation 2, where if you commit a crime, a cop spawns 5 feet behind you.
And those are things that are above and beyond what bug fixes are going to do.
Right.
I was going to say, I believe one of the fixes in this patch was the police will spawn further away.
That was literally it. That was literally it.
It wasn't like, oh, we fixed how it works. It was like, no, we move. It's not 5 meters behind you. It's 20 meters behind you.
Because fixing how that works would mean building a driving AI, a thing that this game does not have.
Exactly. There's Puffsins also points out No Man's Sky didn't repeatedly get in trouble for transphobic and weird tweets, but whoops. Also that. Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
also that.
Gotta give No Man's Sky thing. You can't really like have a bunch of transphobic stuff when there aren't any people in your game.
You know what?
How it released.
Also good point on that one.
Even your own character wasn't in the game. You're just floating there.
Elise, what would you like to talk about for your second topic of the show?
Let's talk about Outriders.
Hey, yeah. You're a big fan of looter shooters.
That's a game that came out today.
I'm a huge fan of looter shooters.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't heard about Outriders, it's a looter shooter. I've been on this show and I've repeatedly said I love Destiny, I love Warframe. This is surprisingly not a games as a service. This is a single experience. But it will be co-op. It will do the whole co-op thing. I'm thinking of it basically along the lines of Monster Hunter. It's a co-op looter game with a set endpoint, a set end to the experience, and maybe a bit of end game grind there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Monster Hunter doesn't really get patches, except World kind of does, but not in the same way that. Not in the same way
like
that
an
Destiny
expansion
or Warframe does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or like a new monster here and there.
Right.
The news this week is the ways that they're gonna punish cheaters. And cheaters are identified as if you launch without using Easy Anti-Cheat, if you modify the game files for levels, skills, inventory, etc. Externally modifying the game to reduce dependent features such as vendors and challenges, using a trainer program or similar to gain advantages within the game, or using gameplay altering programs such as aimbots and wallhack. This isn't a competitive game, but cheating in a cooperative game still fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
If I roll into a Destiny match or Destiny strike and everything dies immediately, I'm not going to have any fucking fun for 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
The way that they're going to punish this is two main things. For one, no matchmaking with non-cheaters. If they detected you're cheating, you're matchmaked with cheaters, which is going to be A, slower, and B, shitty. And number two, I mean, it's going to suck once you get in game because everyone's cheating. And number two, they're going to watermark your HUD. It's described as discrete but visible. So not like it's going to make the game shitty to play, but if you try to post your footage online, if you try to here's my speed run, or here's how you do this, you can't make content because it's going to be a watermark in the
right, and your shit's going to get flagged, DMCA'd or whatever.
Exactly. Saying
it's
well, maybe not even DMCA'd, but people will be able to see it on your YouTube video
Right.
and be like, "Wow, you cheated. This is shitty." And I don't
Right.
need to take any advice from you and watch your content.
Mark in the chat says, now how will this affect mods? Like giving Mario a gun? Good question.
A good point, actually, though. Mods might be not a thing for this game.
It's true. I don't know. I'm sure we'll hear more about this
Yeah.
as like people start to mess around with the files and see what
Oh, and I'm
triggers
sure,
or
like,
not.
I'm sure
Yeah.
PC people will figure it out. They always do.
That's true. That's also true.
Life finds a way.
I think this is mostly a good thing, but anti-cheat can be shitty. It can like ruin certain ways to play a game that should still exist, which kind of sucks. But I think overall it's a net good.
Yeah. It's an interesting
Yeah.
system. We'll see how it goes. But for now, it is kind of interesting. Pridge, what would you like to talk about for the last topic of the show?
In honor of Chris releasing a video about sports games, I'm going to talk about sports games.
Hey, tell us about them sports.
Most specifically, the whitest sport, golf. Actually, it's probably, I don't know, maybe lacrosse, I don't know. Golf is definitely up there for whitest
golf.
sport.
It's golf.
It's definitely up there.
The if not one of the whitest sports.
Mhm.
Wait, sorry, polo exists. Never mind.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, 2K announced that it has signed Tiger Woods for an exclusive long-term contract to create a PGA Tour 2K series.
Mhm.
Now, this is interesting because Tiger Woods was, for the longest time, the face of EA's PGA Tour series.
Yes.
That series ran from 98 through 2013, which is basically the period of time Tiger Woods was relevant.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it. I was like, why did it end in 2013? Oh, yeah.
They skipped 2014, came back in 2015, and named it after Rory McIlroy, forgetting that there are only 3 golfers who have ever existed with any name brand recognition. And Arnold Palmer's a drink. No one cares about Phil Mickelson anymore. And Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
That's it. Any other golfer and, like, no one really cares. I guess it'd be those 3 and Happy Gilmore, but he's not real. But yeah, I mean, because they basically stopped because that was, I believe, had to probably be around the time that Tiger Woods got in his cheating scandal and then was injured for an extended period of time. It was only a few years ago he started to make his comeback, and now he just got really badly injured again. But in a car crash, actually, but he's recovering from that. And
shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, but back to the point. So, Tiger Woods was the face of EA's franchise. Now it's going to be the face of 2K's franchise, but EA is still going to attempt to bring back their franchise, their golf game franchise as well, just without Tiger Woods. So we now officially have a battle between 2K and EA's PGA Tour Series games. And basically the biggest news is Tiger Woods has switched sides.
Yes.
And the biggest news is that none of this matters because I doubt either of them have speed golf.
I knew. So I was like, Bridge, bring it around. Bring it around to Mario Golf, please.
If there's no speed golf, then what's the damn point?
There we go.
They've already lost this war. They will lose this war in May or is it June that Mario Golf comes out?
I think so. It might even be July.
I think it's July. It might be July. Yeah, but this war doesn't make any. This war is pointless because they already lose when Mario Golf comes out because it has speed golf, and that's all anyone's ever needed. Speed golf.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
That does mean David and Elise, it's time to go home and become family men, which means this week's winner is rushing across the finish line. That doesn't now. try to do a golf metaphor, and for some reason I said finish line.
Speeding
Speed
to
golf.
the 18th hole as if he was playing speed golf.
There we go. Pridge, you are this week's winner. Are you ready for your minute to win it?
Sure.
Take it
He
away.
says with a normal confidence of any time he's asked me he's ready to do his minute to win it.
Right.
So I have officially been microchipped by Bill Gates. They got me. It's my Band-Aid. I got my official Bill Gates microchip. I'll get the second dose of the Bill Gates microchip in 3 weeks. So this is just, obviously vaccine, COVID vaccine is different for everyone, for, depending on where you live. But for those who have the ability, it's a nice, easy vaccine. Tiny little needle and you're on your way. Vaccines are good. Please trust doctors. And Bill Gates can already track you because of all the crap we do on our phone. So the microchip in your arm for this one isn't going to change anything.
Yeah, thank you very much. A very important PSA, and congratulations on getting your first shot.
I'm getting my microchip, yeah.
And you're getting your
Yeah.
microchip, exactly. Important things to plug this week. Yes, as Pridge mentioned, we do have a brand new video essay up. We actually have 2 up this week. We have the last of the Majora's Mask dungeons. That is up, as well as Chris's wonderful Fixing Sports with Smash Brothers Ultimate characters. It is an incredibly funny, incredibly well thought out video that Chris put a lot of time into. Please go check that out if you haven't already. That is up on our YouTube channel. Again, youtube.com/savedatateam.
Even if you don't like sports, I don't like sports. It's still funny. Go watch it.
Yeah. Just to be clear, obviously, listen. We're all gamers here. We're not known for being the sports loving type. You don't have to know jack shit about sports to like this video. It is very funny.
You can count the number of actually sport relevant jokes on one hand. There are fewer than 5.
Yeah. and it's a 35-minute long video, so it's like 1 per 7-minute average there. Oh, important, if you are watching this live or listening to this later, please go to whichever podcast service you use, find our app, find our podcast, find this podcast, Around the Monitor, and find Save Datacast. Give those a review, preferably 5 stars. But that really does help us out a lot, especially as we try to somehow monetize this freaking thing. That would be very grateful. Really,
Subs, likes, whatever your podcast platform has, they are all extremely helpful.
Exactly. Hell, tell your friends. I don't care.
I like to think we're a 5-star podcast, but that's up to you to
I
decide.
think, you know what?
I know most prefer tell your friends, force your friends to watch it. I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah, literally, I like my podcast app started playing one of our shows in this last week while I was cooking dinner, and I was like, oh, I'll listen to the first minute of it before I switch to something else, and I just kept listening to it while I was cooking dinner, even though obviously I was on the show, so I know what we said, but I was like, oh, this is actually not a bad podcast. Look at us. Took us a little over 2 years, but we make some decent stuff now. But that is going to do it for another week. Thank you again so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Around the Monitor.